Quick. Wow, the bars are green. Finish the song. Yeah, if it goes down again this time, I'm probably just going to call it quits and then figure it out tomorrow. I actually have a new modem that I need to install, which is kind of weird. That this is also related to that, perhaps. Not that this has been the same one I've had for a year or 2 years, so it's weird that it would just start being a problem, but whatever. And I ended up getting a beer now, because hands to the sky, everybody. Hi, Frio. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Comp, Walk, J. Cause slorp. Slorping. Here we go. All right, let's be about it. What I want to do is take this and put some snares up in there. Yeah, something like that. Or 4 on the floor. Yeah, it's a bit slow for that, maybe. I don't know. Let's just try to play it by hand. All this time without the blessed red dot. Never lost hope. Seems good so far. Good. Need to find that Christmas acapella you mentioned. Oh, I'll just send it to you now. It's here. City sidewalks. Yeah. That was fun. So Megan is singing the upper 3 voices, and I'm singing the lower 3. Singing. She's singing. I'm croaking out a couple notes. I get some really low bass notes that just have no bass in them. Bah. Sound like that. Bah. Bah, bah, black sheep. Gosh, where is this thing? We sang, yeah, we sang. God. I have it somewhere like really obvious. So wholesome. Indeed. Oh, here it is. Here it is. SoundCloud quality. Puke. God. But here you go anyway. Oh yeah, I should just play it here. Hey, let's just do that instead. In fact, screw that. I'm gonna play it here, and I'll do the good quality one. Oh, the wheel. God damn it. Okay, maybe. Hi, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, it's just like as soon as I start it, it just goes up to like 1,000 and then to 0, flat lines. But now, without doing anything, it's back. So I had it, fuck, now it's 0 again. So now it's fine. People at the other end of the internet tube are like, oh, look at that guy. Look at that guy on the screen. Let's give him back his bits. Oh, down we go. Fuck. Yeah, it's like it works like this for a few seconds. I'm not on Wi-Fi comp. Everything in my house is wired. Literally everything. I'm like an old Godzilla film now, yeah. Fuck. Am I here again? Yeah. I'm just looking at some... Times though, like, do you go onto like a forum or... Fucking, I can't even talk to you. It's just gonna drop. How many times do you go onto a forum, you know? Oh, it's at 0. Hi, Lauren. I'm having problems here, so can't probably can't talk, but welcome. Yeah, stable for now. What a bummer. Just trying to make some music, bruh. I mean, now it looks fine, but the fact that it's so erratic is what's bizarre. That it just goes stable and then all of a sudden it goes, ah! It does seem like maybe it's being throttled, like it's, you know, going over some threshold. And as soon as it passes it or, you know, something, it just goes, woof. Yeah, here it goes again. No, I haven't watched that. It's a good point. Eleven concurrent viewers hanging out, watching me troubleshoot. Well, I don't know. Just gonna have to try for now and see what happens. Because, yeah, before I was able to get like 2 hours or 3 hours before this would happen. Now it's just constant. So, what can you say? Sounds of frustration, yeah, seriously. Seriously. Okay, so now here, perhaps we're getting like bigger snares. And it's maybe not like ride cymbal. Maybe I should just play a groove. Yeah, I should just play a new one. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Shamkra, good to see you. Late night jam. Yeah, well, trying to anyway. Having problems with the internet. Google Chrome is opening 20 instances per tab and bleeding my CPU dry. Oh, interesting. Lame and interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. Yeah, that's cool. Played double at the beginning, but other than that, it's good. Playing with massive latency now at a 512 buffer with 44 milliseconds on top. Gotta love it. It's so funny how that works, because if you just actually play, I don't know if you can hear me, if you actually just play in time with how it sounds, but don't, how the music sounds, but don't listen to your own, I'll wait till I see the signal again. All right, we're back. How do you feel about drum pads? You have a Labs controller? No, I do everything on the keyboard, because that's what I did from the time I was a kid, playing drums on the keyboard. So the layout just works for me. I have some pads. I've tried pads. I've got some PreSonus ones here. Got some on my controller, but I don't know. Don't like it for some reason. I like the way that the keys move, you know, like you have, like they have travel to them. So you feel like, I don't know. It's probably like a detractor for some people, but I dig that. Now, I was planning on not having the flutes in at this moment. Every other word, yeah. Halcyonic Kaiju, welcome. New subscriber. Thanks. Glad you enjoy this stuff. Learning Logic Pro. Can't help you. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome. Having internet problems, so sorry if I drop out. My only argument against key drums is the difficulty in playing faster subdivisions, like being able to hit a pad with little no resistance. Yeah. I hear you. I totally hear you. I would like to actually have just, you know, like the set of pads or whatever that's like whatever big, and you hit it with sticks. Have it here. That would be even better, because you can. Then I would feel, I don't know. I think I would feel good about my velocity choices and whatever if I could play with real sticks on the thing. If I could like just have them like on the edge of my keyboard or something. I don't know. That'd be cool. Okay, so these kicks are hitting really hard right now, probably too hard. Compared to what we were doing before, which was what? 99. So like if we take our main hits here, set them to be 99. What are you? 90. I like that. So let's grab you, oops, you are 90. Now, do we go with the bass? Because the bass is doing this thing where like at the end of every phrase it says ba-doo-bit. And then it drops the one. Ba-doo-bit, doom, doom, boom, doom, ba-doo-bit, doom, doom, doom. So do you have the drum hit on that? Doom, doom, boom, doom, 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 boom, I kind of like missed the snare. Come early with the snare. Early with the snare? No, you're missing the one, but you're playing the snare instead. Like it would be this guy here, and you're gone. Pretty cool. Now we're gonna get some more like a little bit of more sloshiness. Now here we could maybe even go tune up like this. Cool. Now, could try this. It's not bad. My snares are a bit heavy-handed right now, maybe too much. Maybe alternate the anticipated snare with a double kick hit to keep it from sounding lopsided. You mean like this second time right here, you're thinking... Yeah, alternate. No. Maybe? No, you're thinking like, oops, fuck. Totally lost my spot now. Oh, here. So the key was already there. Oh, what? Just this you're talking about. Oh, I see. It's not actually too bad either. But maybe, oh. But actually maybe hitting it, you know, like such. Maybe not twice in a row. Yeah, it's kind of nice to just have it be kind of normal. I think I'm going to actually dupe this because I like how this is feeling. And then deal with that over here. So like we've got this sort of visually elevated line on the hat where on every half note it's heavier, longer, more open, and the rest are tight. So it's, I don't know, I look at it as taking the function of two things at once in a certain sense. Like this could have been another instrument. Could have been a tonal instrument playing on this division, or could have been a percussion sound playing on this division, on the half note division. But doing on the hat is cool. Okay. I don't know. Let's see if this actually even kind of feels good here. Tim Truth, welcome. Okay, so what do we do here for the transition? Can you map the ghost kick to another key? I actually don't know if you can, because it is the same kick bank of samples. Maybe you could have it so that 2 keys can trigger the kick, and then you just sort of designate one as the heavy and one as the soft, but I'm not sure. Okay, what's a cool sort of vibe here? Katum de psh. Looking for accents like this to cut. Then how to dress up the rest of it. Okay, comp, thanks for hanging out. Sorry it was whatever. See you again soon. Have a good sleep. Thinking like this. Oops. Triplet. Excuse me. Yeah. Everybody else needs to stop. This session is so ridiculous. How tall it is. Yeah, doom, doom, bam. The git boxes need to come to a halt. Oops. And actually, even these guys won't play. It's better, but it's too much reverb or something hanging over. Boom, boom, kapalunga. The dom dom kapadoom bit. The gundum. God. Dun, gung, dun, gung, go. No. This is going to be more like pss, pss. Yeah. Yeah. No chord hits on the 1, right? So it's sort of like a bit empty on that first hit, and might need to change that. I need to change the cymbals on this kit. Every time I hear them, what's wrong with it? It's like missing high end or something. Overheads are not being processed. Is the master cutting? No. Maybe they're just all really dark. Not great. I think it's not good. It could be better. Whatever. My back now. It was doing well there for a while, I think, right? The stream is doing all right. Now, I do have chords that I'm muted on the 1 of all these things, which... Yeah, I mean, you still gotta keep it muted. It's too cool. But it does fill it out to hear something there. Still here, okay, yeah, it was fluctuating pretty heavy there for a sec. We'll see. It keeps giving me this error. YouTube is not receiving as much bitrate as it should, or whatever. Whatever. Okay, so but now we have this room here, like space is on the 1. Space is on the 1. Let's just hear it in context from the top. that's cool. I think on the last repetition of this, I need some other, somebody comes in and is like, hey, how about these notes? And then here, keep getting the feeling like these chords here are just not, like they're too square. I mean, obviously they are. They're like heavily quantized. So, but I'm wondering if I can actually just get away with just straight up pulling them later. Yeah. Surprisingly sounds pretty good. Oh God. Pedro, hey, welcome. Glad you like it. It's been a struggle today, Pedro, with the internet. Really, it's been a struggle. But I'm still here, making it happen. So I wonder if these like slid. You know, there's a great pocket on the fourth beat of each bar for this new section. Shooby doo wop. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if I could even just straight up layer another sound right on top of these ones. In fact, we will do it. We'll try. I'll have you know I made these sounds. I did not go out and purchase all the unison packs. I did make them. It's really loud. Doo-doo. What is that chord? This sound doesn't really sustain very well for this kind of thing, and I don't play smoothly enough to do it. Oh, F. Anyway, I don't know, these chords sound a lot like Unison MIDI chord pack by Seb from Unison. His name is Sep, actually. Sep. My brother was once at a barber in the city, and the barber was like, oh yeah, you know, I produce music on Ableton or whatever. They were talking about it, and then the barber says, oh, you know, I use this thing called the Unison MIDI chord pack to start all my tracks. Oh, I've got no signal again. I have to stop talking. Let me know if you can hear me again. There we go. I never know how long the dip lasts because for me it goes literally to 0. So it looks like it's just over. Hopefully you can hear me now. So my brother's at the barber and this guy says that he uses the Unison MIDI chord pack. And my brother's like, my brother made that. He met someone out in the wild just randomly who's like, oh, I use this thing all the time to make beats. And he's like, my brother made that. Thought that was a pretty fun moment. Not that I broadcast that out a lot, but I mean, I'll just copy it down. See what happens, right? Oh, is it frozen now? You're gonna crash. Oh no, it's just Omnisphere. Omnisphere is just like so heavy to load its interface. Every time I click on it, it's just like let's just try a few. Ugh. That was not the intention. Suddenly it's like a whole different tune, you know. Scared the God out of you. Sorry. Right? I mean, we got to do that. But it's like, yeah, does that work? It's pretty whack. That's... Can you do like a major 7, sharp 5 just one time? Theremin to the funky. I love that chord, man. Major 7, sharp 5 is too good. Yeah. Here it calls it flat 6. Let's just do it and apologize later. Yeah. Get a little chromatic walk. Huh. Ooh, yeah. Here we gotta like flat 2 probably, right? This is just what you were saying the other day, Jay. It's flat 7 dominant right now and go to flat 2 instead. But do you go? No, you don't. You do this. I don't know. But it would just be one time, so let's... I probably should have, yeah, left it just one time. But anyway, let's do this here, and then this... Well, I guess, yeah, we can do it here. Sure. Here, and we call it F. F thing. Can't hear it. It's too buried. Yeah. Maybe if we change the voicing a bit to be just like more outrageous. But maybe again, this is like I'm kind of getting away from the purpose of the tune, probably. No. From the top. I love it, man. I can't do it every time probably, but I'll change it the second time, but... Is it a resolution chord? Yeah. Yeah. It can be. Obviously, you can do a lot of things with it, but it's not the chord. That's the chord in a different form. The chord is... Oh. Oh. Ooh. You could use this for a 5 chord. Go here. No. Go. Yeah. Go there. I just didn't do something cool enough. Maybe this. No. Yeah. That's the sound. It's hard for me to think about how to play that. That's not the chord. Major 7 sharp 5. You know, so much about music is about this kind of music anyway. All music probably is about either establishing norms within the piece and then breaking them, or about playing off of established norms within society and breaking them. And the ways in which you break them are what's of interest to people. And so major 7 sharp 5 on the 1 is like that. You just put it in a spot where it's really clear that you're going to get it, right? It's really clear that you're going to get the 1. And you do get it. You do get it in the root. And you get it everywhere, except you get one note different. And that's a great time for it. Just subconsciously, everyone expects a particular feeling's coming now, especially because we've heard the part so many times repeating. We know what comes at this moment. And you give it, but you give it a little bit different, and you go, ooh. Yeah. Okay. This is not right. Like, it's either got to be that I drop the 1 from the drums, or that or the fill or like the break is another 2 beats or something. Like, it's just too soon. Excuse me, I have to finish this idea. So like, if we could drop this. I mean, that actually solves it pretty well. But we gotta solve this now. You know, it could be a bit even just like that. Those head tilt moments are why I started learning jazz piano. Yeah, man. Saw Robert Glasper at a jazz fest a few years ago, Herbie, but I couldn't grasp all the skill at the time, and every other chord Glasper plays a head tilted. Yeah, I know. That's why I got into it too. I think I got into, not into jazz piano, although I did try to pursue that at some point, but it was more about hearing certain, usually harmonic stuff, certain chord changes in music when I was a teenager or something. And just thinking like, what is that? Certain feelings come and it's just like, oh my God, what is that? How do you do that? And then I would hear like, yeah, Take Six or Pat Metheny or what are they called? Dirty Loops. I don't know, a bunch of these groups. There's two huge groups that I'm forgetting right now that were very formative for me. But anyway, just hear these changes that you just say, damn, that is something else. And for some people, it just seems to really work. Something about really interesting chord changes really works. It just produces like certain types of feelings that don't really occur in life generally, I don't think, if not for me, and don't occur in most music generally either. So to hear them does something. Yeah, when I was younger, it was more like just not even groups of people, but a few songs here and there that would have particular little moments in it. And I would think, oh my God, what is happening there? That I need to understand that. I need to be able to do that. Really became like a serious goal for me from the time I was like 15 or 16. Just, I gotta be able to make those sounds. Gotta be able to make them. And then at some point it became also a goal of gotta be able to hear them, gotta be able to know them when I hear them, and so that when I'm writing and the feeling comes, I can grab it and actually find what it is. Speaking of ear training, anyone here who's interested in it, this melody actually, not this one, but the main one, yeah, kind of fudging a little bit, but it hits all notes, hits all 12 notes of the chromatic scale within it. It does, right? Let me play it on the drums for you. I think it does. So flat 3, flat 6, flat 3. Off my paper. Got 7, 6, then flat 7, flat 5, flat 3, flat 2. Yeah. So every note's in there. Every note of the chromatic scale's in there. So that's an interesting one. If it does get stuck in your head, if you sing it real slowly to yourself, you'll be able to get the feeling of every degree. Other than, like I say, I'm fudging it a bit because this is like, to me, I feel like when it happens, it actually changes tonality. It doesn't really feel like it's in G anymore. That being said, all the pitches get played, but maybe not all the degrees get sounded. Hear the bass just. This needs to be this probably. Can we put it here? Nah. Could be possible to play toms here as well. Gosh, where are we? Here. Then it kind of interferes with the bass a bit. That was a bit heavy-handed too. Red Sun, hey, good to see you. can't even hear that this is the F thing. You know, it's like, why? Because the guitars are clashing with it. Oh, I should bring in the orchestra elements here, like strings or something. That's what I need. Because here, yeah, what are you guys doing? You guys are, yeah, you're not behaving. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Yeah, strings here or some other nice instrument could be good. I'm still working on my first fusion tune, but it's centered around a simple 2-chord change. One is E, B, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, D sharp. Yeah, Lydian chord. 2 moves chord. Chord 1, chord 2 moves the bottom 3 to F, C, G. F, C, G, stack fifths, moving on F, C, G. F, C, G. Oh, I see. F, C, G. G sharp. I gotta play it. What is it? F. E. In this octave? I'll put it up. The D sharp on top. Oops. This to this. I mean, oh, D sharp, sorry. This to this. Oh yeah, of course. Who doesn't love this change? This change can be done in both ways, and it's one of these things that is like, what do you say? It recontextualizes the third of the chord, because the third is major in one chord and is minor in the other chord. And it's a usually you hear it going minor to major. We'll do it in A. This thing to this thing. You know, that's sort of a common move. Common move in the, you know, fusion-y, vibey neo-soul zone. But it's like minor half step lower major, or in your case, major half step higher minor. But what you can do, I think, what's a useful way to think about that is that becomes that relationship, major and minor half step apart, where the minor's higher and the minor is not, and the minor is like a Dorian minor. It's not like a melodic minor or something. That relationship, now you can exploit that in all sorts of places. So anywhere that you see a minor chord, if it's that type of minor chord that we're just talking about, then you can do this move right there. It doesn't matter where it is in the song. So wherever you end up, if you're playing one of those things, you can just lower half a step to the major and you get some crazy effect that does that woo, you know, like that effect does. And likewise with majors, if you find a major somewhere and you're needing some special sauce of the moment, you just treat the major like that. It doesn't matter which one it is. You just say that's it. You know, if you're in, it was in C. What the hell just happened? The bass is just so low, it sounds weird. And then you go to F. Now we're thinking, okay, here's the major. So I know whenever there's a major, I can go up one half step higher and turn it into one of these. Now you either keep that and you just kind of go back, or you go, you know, wherever. You just treat it as a non-diatonic chord, or once you switch, you think, okay, now this is what? This is 6 in a new key, or this is 2 in a new key, and you go on from there as though that's true. So if we were on the F, and then we heard this, then you think, okay, this is 2 in a new key, I'm in E, so I continue up as though I'm in E, and then now that you reach back at 2 again, 2 in E, it's the same thing. Now you recognize it in opposite. You say, here's the minor of this type. Anytime I have this, I can drop half step and do the major of that type and continue on from there as though I'm back in C, or as though I'm back in A. Anyway, that sort of idea of like any single chord movement that you can find, if you can abstract it, that you like, if you abstract it to a relationship like that, where it's at the moment it's not centered in some key, it's about a relationship between two chords. And so in this case, it's minor with a half step lower is major, but there's also, any relationship, even just major, whole step higher, major, like 4 or 5 in a key. You can abstract those relationships and apply them anywhere where you find the first chord of the pairing, if you know what I mean. Like anytime then that you find a major chord anywhere, you then start treating it like, oh, I can go a whole step higher and play major. And then now you're in a world of where that's 4 or 5, or that's flat 6, flat 7, or that's flat 3, 4, or there's a lot of possibilities for it. So I didn't explain that well, but the idea is that every micro chord change that you find can be applied at any time when you're given when the first chord type matches what you're currently doing. God, I can't explain this well right now at all. It's the beer. But it's like you just suddenly start treating wherever you are as somewhere different, and the audience will figure it out as you go. Basically, the listener will figure it out. Yeah, anyway. So like, okay, really common change that people learn at some point is going four minor 1 with the minor plagal cadence thing. So then we think, okay, anywhere that there's a major chord, you can do major to minor as if it's 4, and then sort of continue on there. But you don't have to do it on 4. You can do it anywhere. So for instance, like if we're in C again, and then you hear a flat 7, like this is a non-diatonic chord in C. Now you treat this like it's 4, and you do, and now you can go to F, right? And it sounds like for the moment you're in F, but you don't have to stay there. You just then continue on as if you're still back in C. And there you go. See, this low note really doesn't work out so hot. It's cool. Sort of like every chord is a new destination as opposed to a function. Exactly. Every chord can be any chord of its type, any chord of its type. So the more like large scale progressions that you learn and the more micro chord movements you learn, the more vocabulary you have to recontextualize at any given moment, because you're able to see major chords, for instance, from many angles, not just that they're in the key they're in. You know, major chords, even from a parallel modal interchange sort of zone, frame of mind, you can map all the places that major chords occur in a modal interchange context. 1, flat 2, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And so anytime a major chord occurs, you just begin thinking of it as any of those different places and continue on from there as if that's true. And because of the modal interchange idea that all those chords are related in that they're generated from a common tonic, as soon as you start moving in a certain direction, the listener's ear will get it. Enough ratios basically get played that conflict with the previous interpretation, that it says, oh, this is gone now, and now there's a new tonic, and it goes boom, and you get this feeling for a second that you either keep in that world, or you get there and you abandon it immediately and you go back to the other one. I guess that's one way to think about it. Every chord can be any chord. Now, what can we put over this that is nice? We've been hearing the flutes, so they're out. Now we're hearing probably strings, but what would the strings be doing? What would they be doing during this moment? Frio, string master, what would they be doing? I mean, they can be what comes on the downbeat because nothing is there right now. Or it could be some pulsy thing. So, okay. Seeing if I could hold something for the whole time, but I don't think that's really going to happen. You can use ensembles to try anything first. Yeah. True. Down here? Yeah. I don't know. Is that really what you want there? Some holding stuff? Hear it from the top. Got to get the context. short high strings with different timings. Yeah. Let's try that. I had a silly thought once that because you can sub-dominant chords with other dominants, and those can be voiced as diminished chords, which can be part of a 6-dim scale, everything is everything. Why play chords when you can play dominant functions? The art is that the release is leaving the venue. Yeah, I read an interesting paper the other day, sort of a music theory paper, let's say, that was basically talking about how can you determine functions of chords without the concept of triads, just by the presence of scale degrees, combinations of scale degrees. Can you determine what function a type of chord is? I won't go into the details now, but it was a pretty interesting way to look at it, honestly. Sort of, in conjunction with that, I read a quote from Lyle Mays. I don't know if you know Lyle, but he's the longtime collaborator for Pat Metheny, a piano player. Hopefully I don't get cut out here too badly. Things fluctuating right now, but he had a quote saying, basically to the effect of like, if you're still thinking about chords, then you've missed the point. There are no chords. It's funny because I was going to do a video called "Chords Are Not Real," because it's true. But his way of putting it was actually pretty thought-provoking, and in combination with this idea of the scale degrees forming various functions when put together. Anyway, there's something there. I won't get into it. It's a pretty nerdy, deep music theory vibe. But it's sort of an interesting way, perhaps, to think differently about stuff, because since the songwriting era of like the 20s and later, and before that, a little bit before that, it's really become super common to think of music as consisting of chords and melodies generally. And that, you know, there's generally a chord that's happening right now, but there's all the instruments are playing it differently and it's being voiced across the things and so, but it's generally some chord. And then on top of that, there's a melody and whatever. And Lyle, I think, is sort of intimating that that's an oversimplification of what's really going on, that there's always specifics. There's never a thing called a chord that's happening. There's always, there's just a constant flowing changingness. To call it a chord is useful for talking about it, but it's not that that's a real entity. The chord is now being played, other than we call a chord a collection of notes. But to think of that, like I'm going to play now a C minor 9 is a bit maybe limiting to think that this is its own entity and needs to be what it is. It's not that of course, you're going to play specific voicings at specific times, but it's interesting to think more in terms of like bass notes give you perspectives on the key, and the key feels different from the perspective of different bass notes. And then all of the notes of the key can be stacked on those bass notes in various ways, and you gain perspective on them in a way. The key of C sounds like something from the position of F, from the position of A flat, from the position of D. Something like that. Would having the same chord play against changing drones? Would having the same chord play against changing drones, and for each drone you have to identify the chord number in the context of the drone? Oh, I see. No, I don't know that would work. I feel like yeah, because your ear is so fast to integrate everything it's hearing together that it's not like when you play D minor over C, you hear a 2 chord, D minor chord. You just hear a C type thing, or you hear perhaps you do hear a D minor 7 third inversion there. But in other cases, F over C, for instance. You just hear an F chord, G, you hear a C chord. Like your ear wants to integrate what it's hearing all the time. And to the point about it's all about voices and their interplay, it's true, but at the same time, root notes, which are like mini tonics, are generated. You know, when you play, it's not like if you just play an A and then you stack the notes of C major in some configuration over top of it, it's always going to be some kind of A chord, or, you know, it's just a bunch of notes, let's say. But if you put an F in there, suddenly your ear knows, and the degrees take on a new feeling. Now it's an F chord, and this feels like a 3 in the bass, not a 1 anymore. There is something real about that, you know, that certain combinations produce their own, like almost miniature tonics that we call root notes, the generating tone of the current structure, even though you're somehow able to maintain the real tonic of the current moment. You know, it's like there's a virtual tonic sounding, which gives the current chord its positioning and thus its feelings, its relationship, but also the current chord has its own kind of tonic, its own root note that makes sense of it internally, and yet somehow our ear doesn't like just give up the original tonic and just flip over to what the current chord is and think that this is the key. It's kind of crazy that it can, like, it will, for some reason, try to hold in place a generating tone for as long as possible, given all sorts of new notes coming in. But then when too many different ones come in, it breaks it. You know, it breaks the schema that it's been working on as to like what the arrangement, what the ratios are. And it comes up with a new one that simplifies the current context. It's bizarre, man. It's really cool. I heard someone describe a chord writing tool they use. Root, quality, function, tension. System allows a composer to assign specific jobs to instruments rather than notes. I see what you mean. I think that I approach too much from everything, a shapes and chord approach. I'm just not sure how to feel harmony yet. We can hold multiple resonances in the same space. Yeah, apparently. Apparently. It's pretty cool. It's a common problem in life for humans that the ideas and concepts that we end up creating for practical purposes to describe things that are happening, we end up losing sight of the things that are really happening and just seeing the concepts instead. And it both numbs you to the actuality of the thing and can also, for the same reason, lead you astray, so to speak. Because when you're not being attentive to the actuality, you know, your mind can take over. It's just like when you can look at your fingers and think, I'm playing in the Dorian mode because I'm playing from a D and it's all white keys, thus it must be Dorian because so-and-so said so. But if you're not actually playing Dorian sounds and generating the tonic correctly, you're not playing in Dorian. It doesn't matter what the mind thinks. And this kind of thing happens everywhere in music, but also everywhere in general. But in music, it's all over the place. There's so many times that by learning theory, you can somehow think you're something true, and you're not. You're gaining something practical, but to stay true, you have to stay with the sound, with the feeling. And then the theory is just a tool to help.